And and we are live. There we go. Yet again, another month in the books. So October is almost down,
It
and
is going away. Yes.
yeah, and I've been reminded nearly every day about October being in the books because we told our oldest son that he needed to take a break from technology until the end of the month after
Yeah.
45 hours of travel to Singapore and about 35 or 36 back from Singapore. And the dynamic that you didn't have to deal with kids when you were raising me is tablets and video games as accessible as they are today.
Well, yeah.
I'm
I
not
mean, that
saying
is
you're
a
cool, but
problem. You obsessed about other stuff.
I obsessed about video games for sure. Like you, I know you gave me some very specific boundaries about video games when I had a sign in and sign out sheet and I had a particular amount of hours I could use per week. I remember that. Right. The thing is now you go on a 12-hour plane ride, and when I was growing up,
yeah,
it was either a book that you could read on a 12-hour drive, plane ride, whatever. It was a book you could read, or you get a little mini travel games like Connect 4 and all, that was about it.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time was spent annoying your sibling. So,
which you did quite well.
which I was good at. Yeah, I was quite good at. But so we had to say to Finley, your oldest son, okay, you've had way more than enough technology in the last 2 weeks. And so we said, you got to take a break until the end of the month. And so I've been reminded almost every day what day it is in relation to October. So that's what I'm saying there. Yes. So welcome everybody to the end of the month dream show. We're just gonna you've probably already done it. I'm just taking a second to share this to all the different places and let people know that we're live. And so with the dream show, we go live on the last Friday of every month, where we answer your questions about dreams and visions, interpret them to the best of our ability, and help you understand what's happening with the things that go bump in the night. And some of that, we were just in Singapore, my wife and I and all the kids actually, and we had a session with families with kids and talked about navigating nightmares and night terrors with kids. And so that's the thing, those things go bump in the night and they cause you to have sleepless nights. And so we're here to help people navigate those kind of dynamics, and hopefully we can be a resource for you. So thanks for tuning in, and great to see Jim tuning in from Missouri. Wonderful to see Jim. So take a second, share the video to your Facebook wall, or if you're on YouTube, give it a like and subscribe to our channel, and that'll let you know when we've gone live. And so it's an exciting time. It is an exciting time. And so great to see Rita tuning in from Georgia. Wonderful that everybody's coming on. So we'll just give it in a second while the technology does its thing and lets people know that we're live. So yes. So Dad, what's new in your neck of the world? What do you guys got going on?
We're going the church we've been connecting with is doing a harvest event tomorrow.
Because it's fall.
Saturday, right? So, yeah, because it's fall. Yeah.
So they're getting everybody together to pick heads of grain and get some
corn
out of the ground.
They'll be picking any heads of grain, but there'll be plenty of other activities for the whole family. And we'll have a booth out, Teresa and I, where we will be doing dreams, prophetic words, just having dialogue with people whatever they're interested in. And so, yeah, we're going to be doing that tomorrow. And that is in Pensacola. So if you're in Pensacola tomorrow, just happen to be in Pensacola tomorrow,
right?
You can come to the Activate Church parking lot and
have your dream interpreted.
Have your dream interpreted.
Yeah, you're going to put
or
the
if you know somebody who's in Pensacola that needs that done, just send them
that way. Yeah.
Here's the address.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, there you go.
And just come on over, and we'll be happy to. We'll be there for. Let's see, what is it is from. You can even get lunch. They're going to do a cookout too. Face painting and school supplies for kids and
right.
things. So from 10 in the morning till 1 o'clock.
There you go. Okay, so if you're in the Pensacola area somewhere, or maybe you're in Alabama, just above Pensacola,
you could be like in Mobile even or something.
Yeah. They've got a dream interpretation team going at Activate Church. The address is right there, and come and have a meal and get spiritually nourished as well.
Yes.
And so that's been you guys used to do things like that. Well, not in church parking lots, but going out and doing dream interpretation quite often. It's been quite a while since you've been able to do it, right?
We haven't done it in several years, so it's kind of getting back into the loop here.
Well, I remember right at the beginning of COVID, right before COVID, we were doing one of the reasons we started the dream show in the first place, when it was called Friday Night Dreaming, I think. We were doing a series of trainings, prophetic training, culminating in helping I was going to come down to California and help launch a outreach initiatives through the healing rooms, right? That was kind of the idea. You were going to start
a
spirit cafe. Right. And because COVID happened, we weren't able to do that. So we thought, well, let's do a digital spirit cafe where we interpret dreams on the internet. And we've been doing it ever since. So, but you and I have both been involved for a long period of time, different outreach initiatives, doing dream interpretation.
And I still love the ideas of spirit cafe. Spirit cafe is a great idea. I know there are several people doing this sort of thing around the world, actually, but it's been it's good.
I've had lots of friends that have launched those kind of things, and they're really good. So anyway, welcome everybody to the Dream Show. We've been hearing a little bit about us, and I've been on the road quite a bit over the last month and a bit, and it's great to see everybody again. And so take a second and like the video, share the video to your wall to let people know that we're live. And then the deal is, as always, post your dreams and post your questions in the comments, and we will do all that we can to get to those. I'm just looking at Casey's comment there, that she's been part of an online class where people all over the country come together to practice the gifts of the Spirit. That's amazing. Those things are really awesome to be able to do, because one of the ways that we grow and become are formed in the image of God is to be around people that are being formed in the image of God. And being able to practice those things, and it becomes more than just having a place to practice the gifts. It becomes, I know what my people look like and how we act, and how we're to act and how we're to be. And so being able to participate in that, Casey, is just a tremendous blessing. That's awesome. And
so it's really great when you can do it locally, but there's an added dimension to it, I think, when you can do it nationally, or even regionally, or even internationally, where you can get so many different perspectives and some different experiences, because things happen different in different regions.
Totally.
Totally. You come to the South, where I'm at now, and it's the Bible Belt. It really still is. I mean, people still, they still say sir and ma'am and all kinds of good stuff. And, you come from a place like California, that's not the Bible Belt in any way, shape, or form. It's the anti-Bible Belt almost. So it's
that's true.
You go into some of the larger cities. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's funny. We were in Singapore. They say that more than, I think the stat is something like this. Maybe I'll butcher it, but it's something like this. More than 50% of the population has had the gospel preached to them at least 3 times in Singapore. It's a very Christian nation in that sense. There's lots of churches, and so that might not be the case in California anymore, but it would probably be the case down south.
Yeah, probably so.
Yes. Yeah, you see those kind of numbers.
Hey, Jim had a question.
All right, let's look at that.
A spiritual question. An interesting one. I don't have a dream to share today, he says, but I do have a question. Most mornings when I wake up, I have music playing good. It's almost always, it's almost always Christian music. This morning it was Carmen. Before it's been Audio Adrenaline and Newsboys. Just wonder why that happens. Okay, now we just need to clarify here, Jim.
Yes.
We're talking about like your radio turns on and it's unexpected, but it plays something, or is this music that's happening in your head that's like bubbling up inside of you? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, that is the question.
Yeah.
The question is, what are you hearing?
Exactly.
Yes. Are you hearing it in your head, or you might be hearing it out loud and there's not a radio it's playing through, or is it part of your alarm system to wake you up and you're wondering if there's a meaning to which song comes on? So just in my head, no radio.
So it is the radio. All right.
Yeah. So it is just in your head. Yeah.
And I get that too. I mean, I think most people probably get that, where you'll wake up and there's a song. It's almost like it's been going on in your dream or something.
Song, or a thought, or a phrase, or a feeling, So, even just broader than hearing a song like that. I would there can definitely be meaning to that. Right. It makes me think of David's language in Psalm, I think it's Psalm 5, where he says, I awoke and the Lord sustained me. Right. It's like he awoke and he has this realization as he's coming out of sleep that God's sustaining presence is with him, and it totally strikes him.
Yeah.
And so I think we see shades of that in the scriptures. You can think about Paul's dream / vision. He calls it a night vision, where he sees a man from Macedonia pleading with him to come and offer them help and assistance. And so it says, Luke, of course, writing the book of Acts, says, and so we determined that we needed to go to Macedonia, right? Paul wakes up with this we need to go, this thought, this feeling. So I don't know that, I'm sure in the ancient world, people woke up with songs like that. But it's not like we didn't have the 2,000 years ago. You didn't have like YouTube Music or something, like, or Apple Music or whatever, right? That your life is inundated by songs. So there's one semblance where what you fill yourself with does come out of you and does imprint itself upon your deeper consciousness and your thought process.
Yeah.
So, there's one part of it where we can say, if like, I remember my dad, when I was growing up, never wanted me to listen to Metallica. That was an argument that we always had, because I wanted to listen to Metallica and he didn't want me to listen to Metallica.
I didn't want to listen to Metallica.
And that was probably part of the reason. But he said to me, there's a way the lyrics have of getting inside of you. And I'll never forget that he said that, right? I was probably 8, maybe 10, something like that. I wasn't that old. Maybe I don't think I was even in high school at that point. But it was a no, right? And so I know for a fact, and you can look at the makeup of the human brain and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. There is a way that the things we listen to definitely impinge themselves upon us, and they come out in odd moments. So we can say that for one, right? But there is also I've had dreams where I've woken up hearing music. Sure. No, I don't know that I've ever woken up hearing. Anyway, like it's just music usually for me. But anyway, and then I do know that there's it comes and goes, but the song Holy and Anointed One, right? That song coming and going, but that song oftentimes will play on repeat in my mind as I'm doing stuff. Yeah. It's kind of in the back of my mind, right? I love that song. I've listened to it so many times. I will oftentimes sit and pray it, and so it's the thing that bubbles up inside of me, right? Because so that's the one thing you have to think about when you're answering questions like this is, do I listen to Carmen all the time? Do I listen to Audio Adrenaline all the time? Do I listen to the Newsboys all the time? And is it just bubbling up because I've influenced myself with it?
Yeah.
Right. And so that's not necessarily a bad thing, right?
Right.
That's good, right? That's that kind of language bubbling up from the inside. That's a good thing. It's part of your formation. So we have to look at that particular part of it. Is do I put myself in the place where I'm constantly influenced by that, and I'm listening to it all the time? And so when I wake up, it's just what my insides are thinking because I'm always listening to it. Or if that's not the case, and even if that is the case, God can still use that. But if that's not the case, what lyrics in particular stand out? So what part of the song are you hearing? Right.
Is it on a loop? Is there just a phrase or something?
So like there was a period of time where I would sit down to pray, and this song would bubble up from within, where the song "You Are My Sunshine, My Only Sunshine," right? And Mom used to sing that to my brother and I when we would go to bed. So, but that was that wasn't, my mom hadn't been singing that to me for years. So I was in my 20s when that song would bubble up, and it was going on for months, and it started to dawn on me over time that this was the Father singing.
Yeah.
Right. I'm his sunshine. I'm his sunshine. Right. And so he was speaking to me, but it was in the song form of it bubbling up. So it was and it was interesting. It was never, the phrase was always, "You're my sunshine, my only sunshine." I'd always hear that, not "You make me happy when skies are gray." And I realized later it's because the skies are never gray for the Father. So I don't need to make him happy. He's already happy. So it was, "You're my sunshine, my only sunshine." So anyway, the lyrics themselves can be very germane to the meaning of what the Father's saying. So, what lyrics from a song by Carmen is it? What lyrics from Audio Adrenaline? Or what's the name of the song? Or what lyrics from Newsboys are popping up? So I would pay attention to the phrase, because that may be the Father just whispering identity over you. Maybe the Father whispering meaning over you. Yeah. And you're just, it's bubbling up from within. So I would look at the phrase that is, because it's probably not the whole song. I would imagine it's not like 4 straight minutes of hearing it. I'd imagine it's particular lyrics that kind of play on repeat when you wake up. Pay attention to that, and then also go, well, was I listening to that song yesterday? And so it's just kind of bubbled up because of
just that. So you know, Jim, Renee is in your corner.
There you go. Do you have anything to add to that, Dan?
No, I think that's good. You did it. You did well.
Yeah, I absolutely think the phrase from the song, it can be it could be an expression of the Father's affection for you, or it can be the bubbling up within of your affection for him.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. I mean, all those things are good. So it just, I would look at it as a positive thing, very positive thing, and it sets the tone of where you wake up, what you wake up to.
Totally.
It's always up to us to keep the tone going, but it does. It's better to have worship and praise bubbling up inside of us from the very beginning of the day, because
totally,
that's what we're made for.
Yeah.
You're just doing what you're made for, man. Just doing what you're made for.
That's a good thing, Jim.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Yep. Good.
So
just a reminder, people are jumping on, give the video a like and share it to your Facebook wall. Very helpful, so that people know that we're going live. I realized before we went live, there was no social media post letting people know that today was the day of the Dream Show. So I'm assuming some are in the lurch, not knowing. There's a couple normal faces I don't see here yet. So, but it's great to see Renee. I see Susan. Awesome, Renee, to see what you're doing. And Renee, it's awesome watching on social media. Renee and I have never met in person, but awesome seeing what Renee's doing in terms of her book and podcast and all the stuff that she's launching, all the initiatives. So it's awesome, Renee. And I can feel your winter spirit, Christmas spirit coming through your Facebook posts. So yeah.
Oh yes, the tree. Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. That's right. So what else do we got?
Well, if people have just jumped on, the address up in Pensacola is for tomorrow. Teresa and I will be doing some dreams at a.
If you're in Florida, in the Pensacola area, they're going to be doing some live dream interpretation in the church parking lot for a community event. And yes, you can look further up.
Somebody in Pensacola, send them over. We'll be happy to chat with them.
That's right.
Now we've got a couple of dreams. We've got this one from E. Smith 333. So I don't quite know whose name it is, but
let's look at it.
This one is, they've done a good. Okay, so you did well. You broke it up into bite-sized pieces. I'm assuming you did that, or maybe been YouTube that did that for us, so that we actually got the dream. So that's good. Good job. I'm just encouraging anybody else that's about right there. So we have the dream that starts, calling it the lost package. It was a bright and sunny day outside, and the FedEx man pulled up to deliver packages to my house. After he gave us the packages, he went back in the truck and said, "Oh, there's one more for you." He said it was addressed to me, and I had no idea what it could be. I said, "Oh, it must have gotten lost, and just now been sorted out." I looked to see what the date was because I thought it might be from 2017. But then I peeled the sticker back and peeled off the date part of it. I could faintly make out a 2019 or 2020, but I wasn't completely sure. I opened the box, and it was a bag of cat litter and a bag of perlite soil.
And is that it?
That's it.
Okay. It seems like there's and so E. Smith, if you're still on, some of the questions that I have about it is, what did you feel about the box, the cat litter and the perlite soil? Were you happy with it?
Once that was opened up, what was the feeling?
Yeah, what was the feeling? Were you
disappointed? Were you happy? Were you surprised? Were you,
or neutral? You just were,
well, hey, now I got this.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. And let's see, who is the us in the dream? He gave us the packages. Right. So is that family, friends, church folk, business folk,
people, 10 people,
people that you don't know, just a nondescript group? And were you where you said you were out? It was bright and sunny outside, but were you in a is neutral? Oh, family. Okay, family. Were you in your house, or were you just outside? And
wife and 2 daughters. Okay.
Wife and 2 daughters. Yeah. Okay. Very good.
In his yard.
And so all of he gave packages to everybody. And so the whole family had received stuff in my yard. Okay. So outside in the front yard or the backyard? I'm guessing the front yard.
Front yard, but yeah, the FedEx guy pulls up. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything in particular about the FedEx truck that stood out, or the FedEx man? Was he just wearing a regular FedEx uniform with a FedEx truck? Anything about that? And was there anything about the package, the color of the package, the packaging? Or was it just normal? Just looked like a FedEx package from 2017? And
or 19 or
2019. I thought it was 2017, but peeled back the sticker, it was 2019. And when did you have the dream? That's the other question. Did you have the dream in 2019, or was the dream, is it a current dream that you just had recently? So that's the question. Let's see. All right. I mean, the theme of front yard, yes, regular package,
guy,
normal package. Yeah, normal package. And like had the dream a few nights ago. Like Karen, that's our question. Great to see Karen jumping on, and Sarah, wonderful to see Sarah Kokura. And now that she has a Sphinx cat, she's suddenly having dreams about them all the time. So
we're gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah. So the lost package from somewhere around 2017 to 2019 has finally been delivered. Right? That's what happens in the dream. And it is
something lost shows up along with the other deliveries.
Oh, and is cat litter a normal thing for you? Like,
oh yeah, that's a good one.
Right, cat litter, and then perlite soil. I mean, I had to look up exactly
what. Well, you're going to use that in like
planting and and it helps the soil, the structure of the soil, and everything.
Yeah.
So, so is that like are you a gardener? Are you is this?
It's mostly like house plants.
What would these kind of things typically mean to you? Is what I'm asking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would those? Or is there? Why would God use cat litter and perlite soil? Is it as a metaphor, right?
Well, they're both absorbent, by the way.
Yeah. Right. I can think of the metaphor just thinking of them and what they do.
I have 2 cats.
Okay, my 2 cats, and he's a
landscape designer. Okay, that might make sense.
Okay, so yeah, all right, so that so perlite soil would be something. Well, it's just a very specific thing to have. It's not just soil. For me, if I would have to look all that up if I had that in. I don't know that God would use perlite soil as a metaphor in a dream for me. So as much as I do like gardening, but I'm not a landscape designer. So to the cat litter and perlite soil is what's in the package that's been held up since 2019. Right. So, I guess the question, because this dream, it kind of, I get the impression, I don't know what you think, Dad, but I get the impression it's 2019 is probably an actual time frame. Not, sometimes that stuff's a metaphor, right? Yeah. That there's been things that, say if you think about a package that's been lost since 2019, there's things that were supposed to come my way that have been held up for a long time, seem to get lost in the system and never come to me, that I anticipated and I expected. And it's only in this season that they're arriving.
Yeah. And I would expand that. I would say,
go ahead.
They're things that you've given up on. But all
sure.
of a sudden,
okay. Yeah.
all of a sudden you're discovering, and it has to do with family. So your cats in your house, in the yard for cat litter, and business.
Right.
Because it had and both of them are somehow related in how they so it's something that is, how to say it. So both the items cause there to be an absorption, a sticking, a grabbing something that that would normally just run off. And so there is a sense of things that seem to just go away quickly, things you would lose, things, run off. You can't keep the the dream doesn't tell us what it is. It just says that there's something.
Yeah.
There's a stick-to-itiveness that's happening that is almost
that's like a technical term, stick-to-itiveness.
Stick-to-itiveness, yes. That's happening. That is like, finally, I'm not going to lose the things I've been working for.
Yeah, that's really good, Dad. I love this. So the other people in the family all get packages too, right? But their packages haven't been delayed for so long, right? Our dreamers packages, E. Smith, his packages have been delayed. It's like these have been a long time. This has been a long time in coming, and like you said, it's surprising because it feels like I missed out on these things, right? And he says, yeah, I got laid off from COVID in 2020. So there's things that I that have been held up that are finally starting to essentially come back into my life.
Yeah.
Right. And how did that happen? What did that happen? What happened there? And there's layers to the metaphors, right? Because like you're talking about the stick-to-itiveness, you're talking about the absorption quality of both of those things. And then there's also the fact that on just a surface level, cat litter is used to consolidate waste and to get rid of it in easier ways, right? So you're being given something that helps to consolidate waste, the things that need to be gotten rid of. Yeah. And then the other thing that you're given is what helps aerate soil and make a very healthy growing environment. So the things that are coming back into your life that should have been there in 2019 are the capacity to get rid of waste and the ability to create a healthy growing environment. Those things, it's like, why didn't they come to me then? They're coming to me now. Yeah. And the ability to grow and the ability to expunge and get rid of what needs to be gotten rid of.
Which is also probably why his dream life is kicked up.
Yeah. Like Karen said, things are going to catch up now. Yeah. And that's really what it looks like. Oh, hey, this stuff was supposed to come to you in 2019 and it's been delayed. Yeah. And I love Karen's other comment, anticipate a gift that has been delayed. And it's more than just
and that's not like fortune cookie stuff. It's this stuff is real because the reason you're having these dreams is you're wondering what is going on in my life right now. Why are things changing in the way that they are?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's like things seem to be shifting and I can't figure out why is the question.
Yeah.
And the answer in the dream is, the stuff that was supposed to happen 4 years ago is starting to happen now.
Yeah. And he says, that he had a dream it was in a large greenhouse even before that. So again, growth, this sort of thing, things that are, and when you're in a large greenhouse, it's enhanced growth.
Yeah, it accentuates the light, or takes advantage of the light. Yeah, takes advantage of the light to grow things in a very specific way.
Yeah,
right. So a greenhouse being in a place that's taking advantage of the light, right, the light of God, to help you grow in a very specific way.
Yeah.
So
it's good. It's a really good dream.
Yeah, it's a great dream. Yeah, it's a great dream. And
it's one of those helps you answer questions in your life. Why did I miss out on that? Oh, I didn't really miss out on it. It just got delayed.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of back to where I was,
and
now it's growing.
through no fault of your own. It was lost in the system, right? It's saying you didn't do anything that was wrong or that was bad or that was off, right? To earn a what felt like a delay. You didn't do anything to earn it. It just happened, right?
Which is a very encouraging thing. Like, okay, it wasn't you. You thought it was you. You thought you failed. It wasn't you.
Yeah.
It was something else.
There was extenuating circumstances that you couldn't plan for.
Yeah.
But God's basically saying it's coming to you now.
Yeah. It's a good dream. Such a good dream.
It is a good dream. Yeah. So hope that makes sense, E. Smith. And that's
333. Don't say it. You gotta say E. Smith 333.
E. Smith 333. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yes. That's right. What else we got? It's great to see everybody. Even more that are jumping on for sure. Look, Aaron, I always love your insight into the dreams. It's wonderful. Let's do, actually, as you're looking this up, I'm gonna share this. We have 2 programs coming up in
talk about that
in just a couple weeks, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. One is a dream mentorship program, and one is a leadership program, mentorship program. And so I just want to take a second and share that. I'm going to put the links in the program description or in the comments. I'm going to put the links. The first one is our Becoming a Better Leader mentorship program. And so in this program, we're going to, it's going to be 6 weeks every Wednesday. And it's talking about how you are formed as a leader, how you form others as a leader, how you develop culture, how you implement culture, the types of practices that implement culture, how you identify what your core values are, all those kinds of things. And we're going to be doing that there. So there'll be pre-recorded videos. There's gonna be live sessions. There'll be things to watch before the live sessions to prepare you for the live sessions. Open group discussion. There'll be activations and exercises. But the leadership one, cultivating how you lead, how you're formed, and how you form others, and giving simple practices for keeping your head above the water and finding the ability to move forward. So lots of discussion and exercises and things like that in the leadership program. And so there's the link there. Renee will probably be offering them again next year. If I could plan my life out that far in advance, it'd be wonderful, but I can't. So there are definitely plans for offering programs like that in the future, though. And we've got all kinds of things coming down the pipe that we're working on. As you guys always know, that we're busy working on those kinds of things. And actually, pretty soon here, we're going to have another course launched. That's a pre-recorded course you can take at your own pace. And it is a course on how the early church fathers approached the issue of spiritual gifts, what they taught about prophecy, what they taught about healing, what they taught about supernatural things, all of that. So that's a pre-recorded course. We actually recorded that course a number of years ago with our friends at Remnant Radio and are just finally getting set to release that course. So there's a workbook with that. It's a go at your own pace style of course, and we recorded it in an Anglican cathedral. Actually, it's quite a nice setting where we recorded the course, but we've been working on that for a long time. So that's going to come out probably in the next month or so. We'll have that coming out as well. So there's that course. It's not quite ready yet, but it's almost there. We're just doing some of the video editing for that, and then outside of those two, we have the Dream Interpretation Mentorship course. So I know a number of you were part of, we're part of our last Dream Interpretation, the Dreams You Dream course. And so what we're doing, this is the follow-up to that. This would be the next stage of that. But one of the ways we're going to do this, we're changing it up a little bit with the mentorship, is we're actually going to make the videos available from the Dreams You Dream course in pared down form so that you can watch a video and have it available within your account before you come into the session. So we are already all on the same page in terms of principles and everything, because what I want to do in the mentorship with the dream interpretation mentorship is I want to free up the time so that we don't have to focus on teaching principles, because we're doing a mentorship program, and actually just diving into dreams. And so we'll have pre-selected dreams, we'll have live interpretation, we'll have breakout sessions where you're interpreting each other's dreams. The entire focus of the 2-hour session will be practical exercises for interpreting dreams. We'll have Q&A because we always have that, but there's not a formal teaching structure to it. We're going to, like I said, we're going to put videos available that you can watch before the session to refresh you on the principles of interpretation. But when we dive into the live sessions, it's going to be entirely hands-on. So that one is there. So anybody who wants to grow in that area of dream interpretation, that is the next stage. So many of you have taken the Dreams You Dream course over the years, and this is our follow-up to it. We've done the mentorship program before, and it's just this time again, it's a fuller presentation of that. I'm really excited for that one. So take a look at those and stay tuned to our social media and emails for the upcoming church on how the early church fathers approach spiritual gifts. I think it's called Wisdom and the Patristics, I think is what the name of the course is. So yes. Good.
Well, let's do a dream by that is Susan's dream.
Wonderful.
She's got a little stuck on this one, so let's see if we can help her out. Now I need to share screen. Okay. We're going to do this once a month, and we have to think about how to do it. There, got it.
There we go.
All right. All right. So she had this dream the 26th, which, well, that's yesterday. And she says, I was in a hall and ministering to people. Oh, yeah, I changed the Satan to Saturn, by the way. I was in a hall and ministering to people.
If only it were so easy.
Yes. And, yeah, that's true. I was in a hall and ministering to people, and others were coming in, and others were coming in, and little groups of people were all over the place. I saw people I used to know. One was Henry, a man I worked with years ago. I went from the hall to a house. She wonders, my house? So when I got there, a gal came in and used the phone and put on worship music and began to sing to a pastor on the other end of the phone. She was being very kind and respectful, but she seemed to be honoring him and under his power somehow. I began looking at my iPad, trying to find Henry in old newsprints or photos to show the gal on the phone. My sister, Sandy, was in the room in a wheelchair, and my mom came in as well. Might as well just tell us whether your sister's actually in a wheelchair or not. I got very wet somehow by walking into my closet. It was like a shower in there, and as I walked out, I needed to wring out my chair, but didn't want to get the carpet wet. I'm guessing you needed to wring out your hair, not your chair. I'm going to get that out of there. Wring out my hair, but didn't want to get the carpet wet. I began looking in a drawer for a top and suddenly found clothing I had not seen or worn for a very long time. I pulled out a green satin one with lace and on the sleeves, and thought it wouldn't fit. I looked up and there was a clothes rack and shelves, and I began to see things that I had but had forgotten. Lovely clothing I really liked, and on the rack I suddenly saw. Give me a second here. I suddenly saw the most beautiful red purse with a leather strap, and I mean lovely. There was a smaller one of its size there too. I took it off the rack with such a good feeling in my soul and thought, oh, wow, I forgot I had that. I was so amazed to have had it in my hands again. And I knew it was the one I was going to use along with all these clothes I liked, but forgot I owned.
Okay. Scroll all the way up, Dan.
Yeah.
Okay. Susan, the first thing I want you to do is give us a title for this stream.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's good. Give us what would you title this stream?
Yes.
And because that's going to tell us a lot about this. And when you say you were ministering, so give us a title for one, and two, when you say you were ministering to people, do you mean you're prophesying, praying for them? I'm going to guess that is kind of the idea there. Freedom, Susan. So Susan says freedom, right? So yeah, she's praying and prophesying over them. Yeah. And I love that. So it's great. She's in a hall, then she's in her house or a house, and she sees this kind of weird honoring thing, and she's trying to figure out how to navigate that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
right.
She needs to find what she's, I was looking at my iPad to find Henry
is up here. Higher.
in old newsprints or photos. Who's Henry?
So Henry, in the first part, she saw people she used to know. One was Henry, a man I worked with years ago.
Right.
So Henry is the connecting between the two.
Yeah. So tell us about Henry. What's the deal with Henry? Like,
he connects your dream together.
Yeah, he does connect the dream together. So was Henry like a particular boss, or was he like a very kind person? What character traits stood out to you about Henry? Why would you want to show her Henry, news articles about Henry from a long time ago? Like, that's what I'm trying to get. Yeah, so there's
hard worker, sales guy who I was a helper for. He was funny.
Right. She was the helper, and so he was a nice guy.
Okay.
A good guy. I'm just looking up the name Henry, by the way. The name Henry means home ruler. It's a combination of the word home and ruler in German. Yeah. So that's an interesting one as well, the home ruler.
Oh, and also, I don't think I saw it in here. Does your sister is she in a wheelchair or not normally?
Right. Yeah, that's Karen. Karen's great question, Karen. You guys are tracking. That's right. Yeah. So you're in a hall prophesying over people. You see Henry. You get to a house and you see a girl having this odd relationship with a pastor leader type, kind of like some weird honor stuff. Mm-hmm. And you're looking, no, but she almost could be. She's not in good physical condition. Okay. And you're trying to find old newsprints about Henry, photos to show. Why did you want to show them to the girl on the phone? Did you think they would be helpful to reframe what she was doing? Did you have a reason why you wanted to show them to her? Oh, this will help her get out of this situation, or I tried singing. Did you try singing? Like, because you recognize that there was she was under his power. So why did you try singing along? Were you trying to help her? You don't know why you wanted to show her the pictures. When you sang along with her, were you concerned about her? Were you thinking, why were you singing along with her? That's like, or was it just a thing that you tried to do? To see if I fit in. Okay. And you realized you didn't fit in. Yeah. Very good. Yes. That's a good thing that you didn't fit in with that dynamic.
Yeah.
Yes. I love, and okay. So, because if we could probably, concerned she was building held under someone else's power, and you were singing to see if you fit in. Okay. So you're in the hall prophesying. You see this odd dynamic. So, Dad, can you return down at my sister and I were in the room in the wheelchair, because that's like a whole other thing. Just make it another section. And then then I began looking in a drawer. So go down there. These are kind of the 4 sections of the dream, right? Is ministering to people, sing if I sing, and you could probably title each one of them, right? Ministering to people, seeing if I fit in, dealing with the family situation, and then finding this old stuff that, so here, by the way, this is kind of a trick for interpreting these longer dreams, is separate them into bite-sized chunks and then simplify them. We talk about that in the Dreams You Dream class. Okay. So first scene there where you're ministering to people, right? I know this is something that Susan loves to do. And this dream talks about things that you've been through. And again, it's like it's a dream where you're going, I'm trying to find out who I am and where I fit, right? In the hall, ministering to people is doing something you love, but you haven't found the place to do it, because a hall isn't a place that's conducive to being able to minister to people. So it's doing something you love, but not knowing how to do it. Yeah, or not finding a place to fit in with that, right? And a hall is a transition place. It's, you go from one place of the part of the house to another part of the house in a hall. So it's not a permanent place. So you're doing what you love, but you don't have a place that you
even if it's a large hall, it's still a hall.
Yeah, it's still a hall. Exactly. Yes. And then you come across, oh, well, maybe I can fit in with this dynamic, right? And the girl's singing, there's honor to the leader, but something's off about it, but you go, well, maybe I fit in with that. And it's like actually, because trying to find the old newsprints about Henry is the girl has made the song about the leader, not about Jesus, because Henry represents Jesus in this, the funny guy who's hardworking, whose name means the home ruler. So you're going, actually, I'm trying to introduce people to Jesus, not to the leader's style. So you've been in environments where you don't fit in because it's all about the leader. It's not about Jesus. It's all about the person. It's not about Jesus. And you don't jive with that. It's like when the leader
makes the same song.
You don't sing the same song. When the leader makes it all about them, it's like, I don't fit. And maybe she fits in there and that's fine, but that's not for you. So we're not criticizing the leader. We're just going, Susan doesn't fit in that dynamic, in that environment.
Right.
And so
by the way, a hall is for meeting. It's not for living. So either way, it means the same thing.
Yeah. That's right. It's not a
hall or a hall.
Yeah. So is it a hall? Yeah. A hallway or a hall for meeting, either way. Yeah. I read it as a hallway.
Yeah.
But maybe she meant, community hall. Exactly. It's a temporary place for meeting. It's not a place to occupy. It's not a place where you would be. And so she's in a room with her sister and her mom, and she gets wet because they're trying to do stuff. And so, you've been involved in family. Family doesn't necessarily mean your family. It's not collateral damage because it's just getting wet, but you've had to navigate some situations that have affected you. What they're doing affects you.
Right.
And it's like, oh, they did that. They're doing this, and I have to clean up things because of it. Right.
And it's somewhat unexpected in the way that it affects you, because you go into the closet and you get wet, not somewhere else.
Yes. That's right. Yeah, that's right. You go into the closet, and
that's not where you expect to get wet.
Yeah, that's right. So exactly. So last part of the dream, there are things other people are doing around you that impact you, and it's like, oh, this in a way it's annoying. I've got to figure out how to do this. I got to wring this out. I've got to dry this off. They've done this, and now I have to do this. But in the midst of that, what other people have done that you've had to respond to, like the last part of it here, you discover something about yourself that you totally forgot that's been hidden for years, and it's a beautiful redemptive. That's a beautiful red purse. It's a beautiful redemptive element of your identity. This is where you're at today, right? You've gone through the ministering to people, but it's not my permanent place. I've tried to fit in with how some of this stuff happens here. And even in some of the family dynamics and the church dynamics I've been part of, I've had to deal with stuff that were unexpected. But in the midst of all of it, I've discovered this beautiful redemptive element of who I am. And so, like Karen said, you've picked up amazing things on the journey and discovered long forgotten things about yourself, that about your identity. A purse is your identity, because that's where you put all of your identification things. So purse is your identity. And so you've discovered multiple facets to who you are that were easy to forget in previous seasons, but it becomes so part of who you are in this season.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we store things in a closet.
Yeah.
And then we forget them.
Yeah. That's right.
We forget them. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that I was so passionate about that thing. I forgot that was what the Father had spoken to me about. I forgot that that's part of who I am. It was so easy to forget because of all the circumstances and dynamics, but actually some of the circumstances drove you back to those things and said, oh, that's right. This is who I am and this is what I'm about. So that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Yep. It's a good dream.
I would look at this thing and completely, so the dream doesn't say this, I'm just saying this outside of the dream, that somehow this back portion of the dream, the final scene of the dream, it connects you back to the first scene of the dream.
Yeah.
Where the things that you're looking to do up here, you're now discovering you have down here, which means you can take them back.
Yeah.
Because you know you own them again. They've always been yours, but you didn't know you had them. You've forgotten you'd had them. And in this season, as Josh is saying, it's when they're really going to pop for you.
That's right.
Whoa, that purse is exceptional.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I had it, but I did. But I know I had it.
Yeah.
And now I look at it and it's eye-popping.
Yeah.
There's just something really significant about the things you haven't been able to see.
That's
but
right.
You kind of knew on the inside, I always had them. But now it is.
That's kind of like prophetic ministry, right? It's like reminding people that the red purse has always been there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And when a truly accurate prophetic word comes, it's like, I knew it. I'd always thought about that. I knew it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It resonates with something so deep inside yourself that you
Exactly.
already knew.
Yeah.
It's
that's
not,
right.
Generally, it's not coming with some new bit of information or telling you. It's connecting you to who you really are.
Yeah.
And that's one of the strengths and beauties of what Paul talks about in 1 Corinthians 14 about prophetic.
Yeah.
The functions of what prophetic gifting does.
It essentially reminds you who you are.
Right.
The secrets of your heart, the things that are buried and that have been there, but have been mysterious.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Very good.
You want to just pray over it real quick?
Yeah. Father, I just thank you for Susan, and we just thank you for the journey. And as Sarah has said, God never forgets. And as Karen says, she's discovering those things again. So we just thank you for that, Father. We thank you for that journey, that process. We thank you for who Susan's becoming. And so we bless her in her identity, in her tenderness to you. We just bless her to become all that she's created to become. Amen.
Amen.
Susan, I'll say this. I had a dream one time, a number of years ago, where a prophetic mentor in my life, a father figure, came to me and he said, "You were once a breath on the lips of your creator." I'll just leave you with that, Susan. You were once a breath on the lips of your creator. And you live and breathe on his word, and you were once a breath on his lips. And
Well, Josh, we're coming to a close here.
We are coming to a close, aren't we? It's gone very quickly.
You've got the mentoring thing coming up.
We've got them both. 2 mentorship programs. We got a new course coming out. I've got like 3 books I'm trying to get ready. It's just like it's always something,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And we'll probably talk more about resurrecting that Spirit Cafe thing soon.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about that.
Yeah. We've got, there's other things we have. Like, please check out the Voices from the Desert podcast. If you guys haven't been listening to the Voices from the Desert podcast with Murray Dewick, we've been on this kick looking at prophetic ministry in its contemporary setting and looking at it in relation to how the church has practiced prophecy in history. And I would say it's been some really good conversations trying to navigate what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if anybody knows about this, but we also have a Wind Ministries podcast where we post teachings and such from different events that we've done. And we've been on a series where I've been posting podcasts from an event that we did about a year ago called Love, Prophecy, and the Kingdom of God. And so those have been available on the Wind Ministries podcast, which you can find. So good content there. I'm really proud of how those things are coming together. And and check out the courses that we have, and keep in tune with us.
I don't know what Sarah's saying here, but I think we should just close on this.
Yes, she loves old dead guys. Yes. I like old dead guys too.
Yes, you do. You do. Well, I'm pretty fascinated. One of these days I'll do one on Francis of Assisi. I'll do it.
Oh, that's what you guys need to really get on my dad about that. Francis of Assisi was one of his original loves when it comes to Christianity and following Jesus. So he's been reading and studying and all that about Francis for a long time. So we need to work on that one. Yeah. So you guys all start bugging him about it, and I'll start bugging him about it.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you much. And if you're in the Pensacola area tomorrow,
come out to the harvest thing.
10 to 1. Teresa and I will be out there with the other folks from Activate Church and we will the address is in the comments above if you want to look for it.
Very good.
And we'll be having fun. We'll be interpreting dreams in a booth there. Come to the booth.
There you go. That's right.
All right. So blessings to you all. Thank you for joining us. May you just know the peace and grace of the Father.
That's right.
Unique and beautiful ways. May you know your place in creation.
Yeah.
And not lose sight of who you've always been meant to be. And we bless you with just insight, wisdom, and an increased dream life.
That's right. Amen.
Talk to you guys.
Until next time.